Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you do not know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, historical calendar, and the website onthisday.com. And I'm not sure if this music is a little too loud, so tone it down a little bit more. Where did my history go? Anyway, for links to the sources of the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and you viewer are you. Today is, what is today? Freya's Day? No, yeah, is it Freya's Day? Yeah, aka Friday, September 8th, 2023. Let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 1024. Duke Conrad II was chosen as German king and crowned at Mainz Cathedral. Alright. Then we have in 1141 the Battle of Kautuan, Samarkand, Seljuks defeated by a Kara-Khitan army, beginning of the end of the Great Seljuk Empire. Ooh. 1264, the Statute of Calais guaranteeing Jews' safety and personal liberties was giving Bati Din jurisdiction over Jewish matters, was promulgated by Boleslaus the Pious, Duke of Greater Poland. The Statute of Calais. Let's take a look at that here real quick. Let's see. Affirm civil liberties for Polish Jewry, so I guess Jews. Sizek's illustrated text of the document represents a landmark in political art and Sizek history career. Okay, well here's, I'm going to add both of these links here to the underbar of the description below. They're going to be in there post-show, of course, or post-stream. Because, yeah, I can't do everything in the background, and in the foreground, and in the middle ground, and in the side ground, and in all that shit. Anyway, 1276, John the 21st, aka Peter Giuliani, was elected Pope. He became the only Portuguese Pope so far. If there has been any other Portuguese popes, please tell us in the comment section below, but according to this source, this was the only one. We also have in 1303, Agani, French King Philip IV captured Pope Boniface VIII. Whoops. 1380, Battle of Kulikovo, Moscow's great monarch Dmitry defeated the Mongols, beginning the decline of the Tatars. Alright, the Tatars? Oh no. 1449, the Battle of Tumu Fortress, Mongolians captured the Chinese Emperor Yingzong of Ming. Yeah, right here. We also have 1504, Michelangelo's Statue of David was unveiled in Florence. Alright. 1522, Spanish navigator Juan de Elcano returned to Spain, completing the first circumnavigation of the globe. This expedition began under Ferdinand Magellan. So, and yeah, he did die along the way. 1565 as well, Turkish siege of Malta was broken by Maltese and Knights of St. John. Ooh, alright. 1628, we have Dutch privateer Piet Hein captured Spanish silver fleet in the Bay of Matanzas, Cuba. Alright. 1664, Dutch surrendered colony of New Netherlands, including New York, or back then it was called New Amsterdam, to 300 English soldiers. Alright, yeah. And yeah, so New Amsterdam became New York, and then it became New Amsterdam again, and then it became New York, and it's been that way ever since. So, 1689, China and Russia signed the Treaty of Nerchinsk, Nearshul, checked Russian expansion, but opened trade further between the two countries. Alright? Treaty of Nerchinsk. Let's see here. Let's look this up here. Okay. Nerchinsk. Alright, so I'm going to have this link here in the underbar of the description if anybody does so wish to further their education on that particular topic of discussion. But we here need to move on up to 1713. Pope Clemens XI published decree Unigenitus against Janicism. What is Janicism? Let's just put this, there you go. Unigenitus, named for its Latin opening words Unigenitus Dei Filius, or only begotten Son of God, is an apostate constitution in the form of a papal bull promulgated by Pope Clement XI in 1713. It opened the final phase of the Jansenist controversy in France. Alright. Putting this in the underbar as well later on. But what is Jansenism? Let's look that up here really quick. Is an early modern theological movement within Catholicism, primarily active in the Kingdom of France, that arose in an attempt to reconcile the theological concepts of free will and divine grace. Jansenists claim to profess the true doctrine of grace as put forth by Augustine of Hippo. Huh. Alright. Well, you know what's the difference between a hippo and a zibbo? One weighs a ton and the other is a little lighter. So... but yeah, no, I added that in the underbar description post-show as well. But we got to move on up to 1727. A barn fire during a puppet show in the village of Burwell in Cambridgeshire, England, killed 78 people, many of whom were children. Yikes. That's awful. 1757, Kittanning expeditions. That's a weird expedition. :S. Where do you go? Here. Yeah, this is weird. 30 to 40 Lenape Indians were killed by Pennsylvania provisional troops during the French and Indian War. Yikes. About 1760, French army surrendered Montreal to British Commander General Geoffrey Amherst. Alright. Montreal, Canada, I believe. Yeah. 1771, Mission San Gabriel Arcangel was founded in California, just east of modern downtown LA. Alright. So, let's see here. Mission San Gabriel. Oh, San Gabriel. I know where San Gabriel is. San Gabriel River Valley. Let's see if there's on the maps here. I'm going to add this just because they have this as well. Mission San Gabriel. Let's satellite view. Okay, is this... Alright. So it's still around. Cool. Highly modernized, of course, but yeah, the mission is still here. Pretty cool. Anyway, what else do we have here? Moving on up to 1796, we have the Battle of Bassano. Napoleon Bonaparte's French army defeated Austrian force during the French Revolutionary Wars. Alright. I got, oh, well. Let's see here, 1831, William IV was crowned King of Great Britain. At the time, aged 64, he was the oldest person to assume the British throne at the time. I wonder if that record has since been broken. What else do we have here? 1847, U.S. under General Scott defeated Mexicans at the Battle of Molino del Rey. Alright. And where is that? Right here. Here we go. We also have 1855, British and French troops capture Sevastopol from the Russians, effectively ending the Crimean War. And while that was going on, French forces successfully assaulted the Malakoff Line during the Crimean War. So... Now, this wasn't the end of the Crimean War, but this effectively ended it. So, and then we also have French, so this is a double hit right there on the same day. Boom, boom. You know. 1858, Abraham Lincoln supposedly said in a speech, "You may fool all of the people some of the time. You can even fool some of the people all of the time. But you cannot fool all of the people all of the time." And that is incredibly accurate in, you know, to today's world, what's going on right now. People are finally waking up, especially what happened out in Maui. 1860, excursion steamer Lady Elgin sunk after being rammed in a storm on Lake Michigan, drowning about 300. This was the largest loss of life in the Great Lakes. And I really hope that record has not been broken, but if it has, please let me know in the comments section. I'm not looking forward to seeing any answers if there ever are one. 1863, the Battle of Sabine Pass in Tejas. 47 Texas volunteers repelled federal forces. You know, those Texans, they know how to dig in, you know? Like, remember the Alamo. 1868, New York Athletic Club formed. Alright. 2 years later, in 1870, Netherlands and Britain signed, oh god, what is this? Coeliai Tractat, an agreement to allow Indian contract workers from Calcutta to work in sugar plantations in Suriname. Alright, cool. 1883, New York Gotham scores 13 runs in an inning. That's a lot of runs. In a 16-6 win over the Philadelphia Quakers at Recreation Park, Philadelphia. Major League Baseball record 18 set 2 days earlier. Yikes. So they got close. 1883 as well, Northern Pacific Railroad's last spike driven at Independence Creek, Montana. 5 years later, in 1888, in England, the first 6 Football League matches ever were played. Alright. 1892, the first appearance of Pledge of Allegiance. It was in the Youth's Companion. So, yeah, once again, you know, brainwashing the kids. Our country has been doing it. The Brits started all of that child indoctrination and such with their Boy Scouts, and we adopted it. And then, you know, the Hitler Youth happened and all that stuff. You know, different propaganda, but same, you know, mechanics. And, of course, you know, the Girl Scouts is just a front for, like, child slavery and labor. 1894, employed by Thomas Edison, William K.L. Dickinson filmed the first boxing match at West Orange, New Jersey, an exhibition between world heavyweight champion James J. Corbett and Peter Courtney. Alright. 1899, British government sent an additional 10,000 troops to Natal in South Africa. I wonder if that's because of the Boer Wars. 1900, 6,000 people were killed. I just had a stroke. When a hurricane and tidal wave struck Galveston, Texas. Seriously, what was that? My brain just blah, 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 blah. You know, I just had a I had a malfunction. 5 years later, 1905, Pittsburgh Pirates strand National League record 18 men on base and 8-3 defeat to the Cincinnati Reds at Expedition Park in Pittsburgh. All right. 1907, Pope Pius X published encyclical Pascini Dominici Gregis, which is anti-modernism. So let's take a look at that here real quick. Let's see here. Alright. Papal letter on the doctrines of the modernists. Okay. Well, we have the actual thing here, so I'm gonna have both of these links in the underbar. If anybody wants, I really need a link man to label these links, not just have random links just floating around in the description section. We also have in 1914, HMS, formerly RMS Oceanic, 2 weeks into its service with the Royal Navy, ran aground off Foula, Shetland, Scotland, in good weather and eventually sunk. Okay, well that sounds like ineptitude. 1914 as well, Private Thomas Highgate became the first British soldier to be executed for desertion during the First World War. Yikes. And the first but not the last. 1915, Association of Life and History, founded in the U.S. It's now the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, which we really got to stop using the term African American because Elon Musk is whiter than chalk and he's an African American, so it has nothing to do with skin color. You know? 1 year later, 1916, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson signed the Emergency Revenue Act, doubling the rate of income tax and adding inheritance and munitions profits tax. Okay, I don't like the word tax, so yeah, what's going on here? Emergency Revenue Acts. Let's take a look at this. What does it say? Let's see here. Tax in response to President Wilson calling for $100 million in additional federal revenue in the event of a war. Oh, well, they already knew that they're going to get into war because, you know, all the countries have been unified together under a hidden thing. I'm not going to get into all that. No, they knew what was going to happen, so they were just building up for the inevitable. 1916, yeah, like, actually, weren't we, yeah, when did the U.S. declare war? Hold on a second. When did the U.S. join World War I? April 16th, 1917. Okay, so it would be like another year. So they, yeah, see? What did I say? They knew what was coming. The government wanted a war, the people didn't. And then, yeah, the Lusitania happened. And let's not forget that that thing in New York, that explosion that apparently didn't happen or happened. It's a Mandela effect. As of 1922 or 1920, U.S. airmail service began New York City to San Francisco. All right. And 1 year later, we have the first Miss America was crowned in Atlantic City, Margaret Gorman at the age of 16 of Washington, D.C. So the first Miss America. And this will probably be the only time I ever talk about Miss America on this show because this is the first one and everything else is just garbage. Why are we rating the looks of minors? That is absolutely... That entire industry needs to shut down right now. 1923, Honda Point disaster. 9 U.S. Navy destroyers ran aground off the coast of California. 7 people were lost. Oh, man. So, 9 U.S. destroyers ran aground. What the hell? Oh, wait, no. 7 destroyers. 7 destroyers! Whoa. Okay, I need to read things better. So how does 9 boats do the same thing? How does that happen? 1924, Alexandria Kolontai of Russia became the first woman ambassador. Cool. Once again, Russia beating everybody else and things. 2 years later, the League of Nations Assembly voted unanimously to admit Germany. All right. 4 years later, we have 1930, first appearance of comic strip Blondie. I remember that comic strip. Comic strip Blondie. I remember as a kid. Oh yeah, this one. Oh, I love this one. Okay. Yeah, no, like like when I was a kid, every Sunday I went downstairs, had some hot chocolate, had a donut, and read the funnies Sunday paper while Mom and Dad were reading the news. Their own news. Dad was reading the sports. Mom was reading science. Whatever. Like, and I was there reading the funnies. Like I was part of it. That's some wholesome family stuff that just doesn't happen. Like, tell me one person that who has done that younger than me. Say one person of any generation after mine has actually gotten together as a family and done things like that. It doesn't happen anymore. It's really sad. Anyway, moving on up, we also have, in 1930, the U.S. inventor Richard Curley Drew created Scotch tape. All right. Good old Scottish tape. Yeah. New York City public schools began teaching Hebrew, 1930 as well. So, yeah. In 1937, Pan-Arab Conference about Palestine opened. Palestine already existed there and, taken over by Israel, but nobody seems to see that. 1939, FDR declared limited national emergency due to war in Europe. Once again, preparing for our involvement. It'd be another 2 years, though. But, yeah. 1939 as well, General von Rachindou's Panzer Division reached the suburbs of Warsaw. Yikes. 1939 as well, Indians' Bob Feller, at the age of 20, was the youngest pitcher to win 20 games. Alright, a game per year of his life. That's cool. And then we also have Yanks defeated the Red Sox 4-1 in 7. Game was called because of lightning. Alright. 1941, blockade of Leningrad, aka St. Petersburg, by German forces began. Alright. 1941, an entire Jewish community of Maritish, or the entire Jewish community of Maritish, Lithuania, was exterminated. Holy crap. Holy crap. My God. Yikes. Ay, ay, ay. Let this be known, people. Just because I'm against Israel does not mean I'm against Jewish people. Like, the Holocaust happened. This is awful. But when people do wrong, I don't care what they are. I don't care who they are. I don't care what's happened to them. If somebody does wrong, I'm going to call them on it. Okay? 1941, World War II, Siege of Leningrad by German, Finnish, and eventually Spanish troops began. Battle lasted over 28 months as Russia repelled the invasion. Well over 1 million lives were lost in that one battle alone. What the hell was Spain doing in there? They were supposed to be neutral. Then again, they brought in the Luftwaffe to test their aircraft before they invaded the rest of Europe. So, 1943, Italy surrendered to the Allies in World War II. That should be highlighted. Once again, Italy flipping sides. 1943, New York Giants pitcher Ace Adams set record by working his 62nd game. Nice. Do I have any comments yet? No, I do not. All right. 1944, the first V-2 rockets landed in London and Antwerp. Scary, scary. Oh, Russians march into Bulgaria. Bulgaria declared war on Germany. Okay, well, that's interesting. It's like, oh, hey, we're being invaded by one country. Let's declare war on another. Because by then, Russia and Germany were at war. But I guess Russia took over Bulgaria? I don't know. 1945 as well, the U.S. invaded Japanese-held Korea. All right. And one more year later, 1946, Bulgaria, talking about Bulgaria again, ended its monarchy. All right, cool, cool. While that was going on, the San Francisco 49ers played the first AAFC game, lost to the New York Yankees 21-7. That's 3 times. 7, 14, 21. That's 3 times. 1948, British de Havilland DH-108 fighter flew faster than the sound. All right. Let's see here. Let's 1948. 1748. Ooh, this okay. That's a cool looking plane. That flew faster than sound. All right, cool. What else do we have? 1951, Japan signed a peace treaty with 48 countries in San Francisco. That's a pretty big thing right there. 1951 as well. Pardon me. Pope Pius XII published encyclical Sempiternus Rex. What is that? Let's take a look. All right. Let's see. So that's the actual link there. The feast of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary on the 1500th anniversary of the Ecumenical Council of Chalcedon, which declared Christ to be both fully human and fully divine. Okay, well, you cannot... Well, I guess you can be both if you're God or whatever. Like, every religion is yeah, like, has its ups and downs. Everything is true in its own way. This is why I'm an optimist. 1952, Ernest Hemingway's novel The Old Man and the Sea was published. That's a really good novel. I have yet to read it, though. And in 1953, Pope Pius XII, again, published encyclical Fulgeno Corona. Okay, well, let's take a look at this one. Okay, Fulgenus. That's something else. Fulgens. Okay, Fulgeno. Okay, maybe this is it here. So, let me just... I don't know. So, once again, more links. A lot of links here. Copy. Is the 50-year the encyclical proclaims a Marian year for 1954 to commemorate the centenary of the definition of the dogma, pardon me, of the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary. Okay, well, we're going to have a lot of links in the underbar today. Tell you what. What else do we got here? 1954, Southeast Asia Treaty Org, SEATO, formed to stop communist spread in Southeast Asia. That didn't work out too well. 1954 as well, with a 3-2 count, Phillies Richie Ashburn fouled the next 14, then walked. Wow. 1956, Harry Belafonte's album Calypso went #1 and stayed there for 31 weeks. Hell yeah, it did. 1 year later, 1957, Jackie Wilson released his first solo single, Reet Petite. Okay. While that was going on, let's see here. Pope Pius XII, again, published encyclical on motion pictures, radio, and television. Okay. 1958, Oman turned over Gwadar, or the Baluchistan coast, to Pakistan. Okay. Yaman. Oman. 1958 as well, Pirate Roberto Clemente tied modern record of 3 triples in a game. Like a pirate, like as in like yeah, baseball pirates. 1959, the Asian Institute of Technology (AIT) was established. 1 year later, German Democratic Republic limited access to East Berlin for West Berliners. Yep. During the lockdown, the Berlin Wall, all that stuff. I saw a piece of the Berlin Wall not too long ago, actually, in the Nixon Museum several weeks ago. Even made a random-ass little video, called the Communist Button, in which I pushed the Communist Button and it started a domino effect, and that video exploded. So, it has, yeah. Anyway, we also have a 1960 nationwide release of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, in the U.S. at least, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh occurred. So, good old Alfred Hitchcock. 1961, national bass guitar wizard Hank Garland sustained career-ending injuries in a single vehicle accident near Springfield, Tennessee. That's awful. Oh, where are you? There you go. Never heard of this guy, but that's awful. 1962, Chinese troops exceeded Mac-Mahon Line, Tibet-India boundary. I guess this is when they were taking over Tibet. And while that was going on, we have the last run of the famous Pines Express over the Somerset and Dorset Railway line in UK, fittingly using the last steam locomotive built by British Railways, 9F Locomotive 92220, Evening Star. 1 more year later, 1963, Algerian population accepted constitution. Alright. 1963 as well, where are we? Here we go. Ines Curvo de Petit 34 gave birth to quintuplets, all boys in Venezuela. Cool. Quintuplets. What is that? Quinn. What is Quinn? That's not 7. Quinn? What is Quinn? Quinn. 1 of 5. Okay, 5. It is 5. Okay. 1 of penta. 1 of pentatuplets. Anyway, what else do we have? 1963, Milwaukee Braves future Hall of Baseball fame, future blah blah blah, future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, Hall of Baseball Fame. I guess it's the same thing. Warren Spahn tied Christy Matherswin with 13 by 20 win seasons. All right. 1965, Hurricane Betsy killed 75 people in Louisiana and Florida. That sucks. And while that was going on, the Kansas City A's... Why did I just do the pyramid? Bert Campaniers plays all 9 positions in the game. I just tried to do the A. You know, like YMCA. I don't know. So, we also have 1965. Small ads in Daily Variety and Hollywood Reporter attract 437 young men interested in forming the world's first manufactured boy band, the Monkees. 3 were chosen with British singer Davy Jones already having been cast. So basically, U2, or maybe, I guess U1. 1966, Star Trek premiered on NBC TV starring William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, oh, here's the Monkees. And here we go. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. William Shatner actually went to space, and yeah, there's a picture out there of holding a little paper that says "Suck it, Picard." 1966, the Severn Bridge between England and Wales was officially opened by Queen Elizabeth II. The Severn Bridge. All right, let's take a look at that here. Huh. All right. Yep, it is a bridge with bridge-like qualities and aspects. What else do we have here? 1967, the formal end of steam traction in the northeast of England by British Railways. Oh, well, nothing lasts forever. 1967 as well, Uganda abolished traditional tribal kingdoms and became a republic. All right, Uganda. We're getting up in the world. 1968, Sandra Williams won the first Miss Black America pageant. Cool. I don't know why they have to segregate themselves like that, but yeah, whatever. 1970, Black September hijackings began. Why can't I talk today? Blah, 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 blah. 3 airliners were hijacked and blown up by Popular Front for the liberation of Palestine. Yep. Leave Palestine alone. Get out of there, Israel. Get out. 1971, John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts opened in Washington, D.C. All right. 1972, Chick Club Ferguson Jenkins won his 20th game for 6th straight year. Nice. Well, where are we here? 1972, 6th straight year? Oh, yeah, here we go. All right. What else? 1972 as well, Jim Ryan of the U.S. and Billy Forger of Ghana collided and fell in qualifying competitions for 1,500-meter finals, ending Ryan's chances for gold. Oh, that's awful. I wonder if they did that, if he did that on purpose or something. 1972 as well, Mykola Avalov, representing the Soviet Union, scored a world record 8,454 points to win the decathlon gold medal at the Munich Olympics, defeated teammate Leonid Litvinenko by 419 points. And by the way, I know it's already passed. I know it was the 5th, and we haven't really been doing a lot of shows this past week, and I apologize about that, but the 5th was the Munich massacre, in which Palestinian, people went in and massacred the Israeli team, which it's not cool. Killing people for anything is not cool. But once again, Israel needs to stop encroaching. So, 1973, Star Trek animated series premiered on TV. And then we also have Billy Martin was named manager of the Texas Rangers. All right. We also have, in 1973 as well, Hank Aaron set record of most home runs in one league, 709. Wow. That's a lot. 1974, U.S. motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon in Idaho, but failed, escaping with minor injuries. That guy was crazy. Pulmonary disease, that's how he died. 2007, huh? I thought he died before I was born. Well, damn, he was alive when I was. That's crazy. We also have U.S. President Gerald Ford pardoned former President Richard Nixon of all federal crimes. Of course he did. Once again, I went to his museum, and this guy was such a crook. 1975, Boston began a court-ordered busing of public schools. Okay. Guinea-Bissau declared independence for Portugal. Cool. 1977, Interpol sent a resolution concerning video piracy. Yep. 1977 as well, Jimmy McCullough quit Wings. Alright. 1978, the second game of the Boston Massacre. A different massacre, not the bombing massacre or whatever. Or actually the first the first massacre that started the shot that heard around the world. New York Yankees defeated Red Sox 13-2. That is a massacre. Why is Boston the setting of so many various massacres? What the hell? We also have 1978 as well. Iranian army fired on Khomeini followers in Tehran. Hundreds were killed. Yikes. 1980. Bowie Kahn suspended Ferguson Jenkins indefinitely due to drug arrest. Yeah, Bowie Kuhn being a MLB commissioner at the time. And yeah, Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher and coach. Yeah. Don't do drugs. You know? Sugar is a drug. 1982, Dutch Social Democratic Party won elections. Fascist enters Dutch parliament. Yikes. 3 years later, USA Weekend's first issue appeared in 255 newspapers. Alright. And while that was going on in 1985, Pete Rose ties with Ty Cobb with 4,191 hits. Hell yeah. Wow. Same angle and everything. Like, look at that. Like, way back. Cool. History's awesome. 1986. I wish I had a boo button. The Oprah Winfrey Show was first broadcast nationally. Oprah Winfrey, you absolute monster. What you're doing in Maui, you and The Rock, both of you should be absolutely ashamed. You should hang your head sad and, you know, like, I don't think there's anything you can do to build back your PR. You people are done. Anyway, let's see here. 1986, Westinghouse sold background music company Muzak to the Fields Company in Chicago. 1989, U.S. MLB player George Brett got his 2,500th hit. While that was going on, Mausoleum of Beatrice of Barbarent, 1288, was discovered in Kortrijk, Belgium. Ooh, that's cool. A mausoleum. Why is that not highlighted? That's massively historically significant, and this is a history source. You know, historically things are first and foremost prominent in history. So, I mean, it goes without saying. 1989 as well, Norwegian Convair 580 crashes at Jutlands in Sea. 55 murder. What does that mean? 55 were murdered? Like, what is... Can anybody tell me what this means in the comment section? Speaking of comments, do I have any live comments? No, what is this? No, I don't. Okay. 1990, Ellis Island Historical Site opened on Ellis Island, New York City. Okay. 1991, Macedonia voted for independence from Yugoslavia. All right. Where's my soundboard? Macedonian independence. 1993, baseball's proposed switch to a three-division format okayed in American League. All right. Speaking of baseball, I got this little baseball game like on my phone. What's it called again? Hold on a second. It's Baseball Tycoon. It's some crappy little game, but I've actually been learning a little bit about baseball slightly, even though I know that's not accurate. But what else do we have? 1994, the last U.S., British, and French troops left West Berlin. All right. While that was going on, a man shot another man on IRT number 4 train in Grand Central Station. So that's a random act of violence. Okay. We also have 1994, Sri Lanka defeated Australia to win Senior World Series at Colombo. All right. And 1 year later, 1995, Cleveland Indians clinched the first American League Central Division title. Nice. I guess they're first. I guess. I'm not sure. 365 days later, the American children's program Blues Clues debuted on Nickelodeon cable channel. Yep. 1997, TV series Ally McBeal, starring Callista Flockhart, created by David E. Kelly, premiered on Fox in the U.S. Ally McBeal. And we also have 1999, American Beauty, directed by Sam Mendes and starring Kevin Spacey, Annette Bening, and Thora Birch, premiered in Los Angeles, later received the Best Picture in the year 2000. in the year 2000. And we also have 1999, the U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno named former Senator John Danforth to head an independent investigation of the 1993 fire at the Branch Davidson Church near Waco, Tejas, in response to revelations in the film Waco, The Rules of Engagement. Alright. Moving on up into the next millennium, 2001. Kylie Minogue released her single I Just Can't Get You Out of My Head, the biggest of her career. Okay. We also have rookie quarterback David Carr threw for 2 touchdowns as the Houston Texans defeated the Dallas Cowboys 19-10 to become only the second expansion team from the 1961 Minnesota Vikings to win their inaugural game. That was a weird way for me to say that. 2002 as well, Texas Rangers set a major league record by homering in their 26th consecutive game as Texas fell to the Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay what? Just the Tampa Bay? Like... 2 years later, NASA unmanned spacecraft Genesis crash-landed when its parachute failed to open. That was sad. 2005, 2 Emercom IL-76 aircraft landed at a disaster aid staging area at Little Rock Air Force Base, the first time Russia has flown such a mission to North America. Ooh. So they were Russian aircraft. So let's see here. Emercom... Yeah, move mouse. Why is my mouse being a poop? Let's see. Are there these big Oh, these things. Okay. Those are big aircraft, though. Russia really is a Texas of the world. Like, at least in landmass. 2008, Latvia joined its northern neighbor Estonia in recession as GDP fell 0.2% in the second quarter from the first quarter, when it had fallen 0.3%. Property markets and construction have suffered in both Baltic states. Yikes. 2010, Egypt's Minister of Finance Dr. Yusuf Boutros Ghali stated that Egypt is emerging from the recession as indicated by increased total revenue from sales tax and customs revenues. Alright. 2011, fashion designer John Galliano was found guilty of anti-Semitic remarks in Paris court and fined 6,000 euros. Alright, so... there's a joke in there. Say something bad about Jews and get your money taken away. 2015, comedian Stephen Colbert debuts as a new host of CBS's The Late Show. I'm going to get canceled for that comment, I swear. 2015 as well, Pope Francis announced moves to streamline the annulment process within the Catholic Church. 365 more days later, 2016, giraffe DNA study published in Current Biology reveals that there are 4 species, not just one, as previously assumed. 4 species of giraffes. Alright. We also have 2016, NASA launched OSIRIS-REx probe to retrieve a rock sample from the 500-meter wide Bennu asteroid. We're sending things out to intercept asteroids and collect samples and bring them back, people. This is Star Wars stuff, and we're doing it now. People are not losing their minds. Come on. 2018, archaeologists uncovered more than 300 gold coins from late imperial period from theater in Como, Italy. All right. 2018, Egypt sentences over 700 people, including 75 death sentences for 2013 pro-Muslim Brotherhood sit-in at Rabaa al-Adawiya Square. Oh, wow. So a death sentence just for sitting in and peacefully protesting? That is evil. 2019, Brazil's Supreme Court ruled Marvel comic depicting 2 men kissing can be sold after mayor of Rio de Janeiro attempted to ban it. Wow. Huh. While that was going on, an estimated 1 million attended a mass held by Pope Francis near Antananarivo, Madagascar. That's a lot of people. 2020, just 3 years ago. Can you believe that 2020 was 3 years ago? Time is just going by. Moria refugee camp, Europe's biggest migrant camp, burned down on the Greek island of Lesbos, leaving 13,000 without shelter. How do you say this? This is like literally the name of the gym in that one South Park episode, taking the piss out of 300. Is it Lebo? 2020 as well, 2 ex-Myanmar soldiers testified they were ordered to struggle, snuggle, and kill 2 Muslim Rohingya villagers. First public confession of army-directed crimes against Rohingya. Yikes. absolutely yikes. 2021, Derek Jeter, Ted Simmons, Larry Walker, and Marvin Miller were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. They were elected back in 2020. Ceremony was postponed due to the pandemic. And we also have 41 prisoners died in a fire at the Tangerang prison near Jakarta, Indonesia. That's not good. 2021 as well, a large statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee was removed from plinth on Monument Avenue, Richmond, Virginia. And what am I doing? I want to save this. Stop it. Fat fingering it here. I understand, you know, he was not a good person, but I mean, if we just remove all traces of these people, we don't have any sources on what not to do. You can't just delete things you don't like. You have to understand and appreciate its value. If it's bad and it pisses you off and it makes you physically sick, great, freaking wonderful, because now you have a guideline on what not to do. You know, stop hiding. 2021, the Brandon administration released a blueprint calling for 44% of U.S. electricity to come from the sun by 2050. It's currently 3%. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. We also have a wildfire in Spanish Sierra Barmea and mountains in Andalusia erupted, forcing evacuation of 2,600 people. Holy crap, yikes. We have a lot of history still left to go. We also have 2022, Australian government passed its first climate change legislation in a decade, including cutting emissions by at least 43% by 2030. All of this environmental crap promises. And wasn't the UK supposed to cut homelessness in half? Or cut the homeless in half? Or they still have 2 years on that? I'm not sure. We also have Australian Stephanie Gilmore won her 8th World Surfing title at Louster Trestles, California. I read that. Oh my God. Lower Trestles. And at first I read Trestles as something else. So, good Lord. Making her the most successful women's champion in history. Alright. While that was going on, Europe had the warmest summer ever recorded. 0.4 warmer, with August 0.8 warmer, according to the Copernicus Climate Change Service. Alright. 2022 as well, Ireland began paying 2,000 artists a weekly wage of €325 in its basic income for the arts scheme to help creative arts recover from the pandemic. Alright. We also have Queen Elizabeth II died at Balmoral Castle after ruling for 70 years as the UK's longest-serving monarch. Her eldest son inherits the throne as King Charles III. So hey, good on him. You know, he's 86 years old, finally has his first job. And last but not least, we have the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss announced huge support scheme to cap price of energy bills at £2,500, costing up to £150 billion amid cost of living crisis. Wow. And that shall conclude the show. Please check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Go check out our other video sharing sites, our social medias, our affiliates, you know, and of course all of these links that we've gathered here, and double, of course, go check out all of our sources. We only utilize this. We have 2 other sources that we don't really utilize until next year. So yeah. Anyway, where's my script here? For your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some notable events, weather, and sports, the Omni Coalition News Show, aka Talkness, is coming up at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. So, until you see us again, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!